Well, raising a child with Asperger's has proven to be a big challenge for my next guest, but he's learned a lot of valuable lessons along the way, and those lessons are included in his brand new book. It is called Performance Breakthrough. I am joined by the author and business coach, Mike Goldman. Mike, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here.
Great to be here.
Let's talk about the idea behind this book. Obviously, your son inspired you. Talk about what inspired you to put pen to paper.
Yeah, it was interesting. My wife and I went to an Asperger's conference to help parents deal with their children. And if you don't know what Asperger's is, it's like a high-functioning form of autism.
Right.
And it amazed me because the gentleman on stage was talking about how to best support our children. And what he was saying was almost word for word what I was telling companies to do to better engage their employees.
Interesting.
So it was this realization that people are people, and whether it's a typical child or a special needs child or a team member, we all have certain needs. So that sparked, I said, there's got to be the idea there for something, and it sparked the idea of a book, which is written in the form of a story, and it's semi-autobiographical about a dad and a son with Asperger's, and he's trying to grow his business.
So what were some of those common needs that you found?
Yeah, well, I find number one, it's that need for what I call acceptance. The first secret of the book is called acceptance, and acceptance says we're all different. And as parents, our kids are not necessarily like us. As leaders, our employees aren't like us. They have different learning styles, different motivations, different values, different career goals. So as leaders and as parents, it's our job to find out what makes people unique so we can then treat them the way they want to be treated versus the way we want to be treated.
Yeah, that's interesting you say that because, we often hear, that famous term of, treat everybody else the way you want to be treated. You say that that's not necessarily the case, right? Because we're all individual. We all have different strengths and weaknesses. Talk about the importance of realizing what those strengths and, more importantly, what those weaknesses are in your employees.
Yeah, and I actually think it's more important to realize the strengths, not the weaknesses. And the second secret of the book is called leverage. And leverage is about leveraging strengths versus just focusing on weaknesses. So if you talk about a kid with Asperger's, they typically have these incredible talents. For my son, it's memory. He just remembers everything, which is really annoying when he remembers more than I do. But or it could be they're great at math. And as adults, there's certain natural talents we have. So as a leader, what you really need to do is help your team identify what those natural talents are, what those natural strengths are, help them become stronger in those areas so they're not only really, really good at what they do, they end up incredibly passionate about it as well.
Right. Another thing you talk about is you say that you should make people the boss of something. And I think that's really important because that's when you feel that you're respected. Right? By not only the leaders, but I think the rest of your team around you. That's an important aspect for everybody involved.
Absolutely.
Right?
And again, whether it's a kid or whether it's an adult, we don't want to be told what to do. And as a leader, if you've hired the right people, tell them what outcome you're looking for, and then get out of the way. Stop micromanaging them. Let them do what they do best. And I call the third secret impact because it's all about allowing people to really feel like they have an impact on the results and feel like owners, even if they're not truly an owner of the company.
We're hearing that word impact a lot when it comes to younger generation, millennials. But I think, that it's the same for everybody. Everybody, of course, wants to make an impact. Some may be bigger than others, but the impact is important. The final way to achieve breakthroughs in business as a parent, you say, is celebration.
Yeah, as a parent and as a leader, celebration. See, most of us are pretty good at celebrating occasions. As leaders and organizations, we're good at celebrating results. What we miss typically is celebrating those activities that lead up to the results, especially in business. And what happens is sometimes there's a lot of activity that leads to a result. By the time we get to the result, our people are so burnt out, they're not moving forward anymore.
Right.
So you need to recognize those wins along the way, celebrate them. Celebration.
In what manner, Mike?
Well,
right? I mean, it doesn't have to be something huge. People just want that recognition oftentimes.
Yeah, celebrating could be a pat on the back, saying great job. It could be, celebration could be about having fun. It could be having a quarterly theme at work around a goal to make it fun and have some games out of it. We spend most of our waking hours at work. why shouldn't we make it fun? And, you know, most leaders make the mistake of saying, you know, fun is just a distraction to getting the real work done.
Right.
But fun breeds creativity. Fun breeds productivity and teamwork. And you know, again, it's fun to be on a team that's celebrating and having a great time.
Couldn't agree more. I want to remind everyone the book is called Performance Breakthrough, The 4 Secrets of Passionate Organizations. Of course, available everywhere. Mike, thanks so much for joining us here this morning. Really
Thanks,
appreciate
Derek,
it.
for having me.
And we'll see you again in just in a little while.
Thanks.
All right, take care. We'll be back with more BT right after this.